High-stakes showdown between Russia and the West. Crimea voted overwhelmingly on Sunday to leave Ukraine and join Russia. A vote ratified by their parliament today. But the U.S. says that vote is illegal and will start imposing sanctions on Russia today. ABC's Martha Raddatz is tracking this from Washington. Martha, President Obama had a pretty blunt phone call with President Putin last night.
Blunt indeed. President Obama telling Putin this vote is illegal and will never be recognized by the U.S. But for now, it seems Putin has gotten exactly what he wanted from this vote. Now the question is, what more does he want?
Jubilation this morning for the overwhelming majority of Crimeans who voted to join the Russian Federation.
I'm Russian and I want to live in Russia, and it's a real holiday, it's a real event. It is one of the most important days in all my life.
But the White House is rejecting that referendum, saying it was administered under threats of violence and intimidation from a Russian military intervention that violates international law. And now the U.S. is all but promising to hit Putin where it hurts, vowing economic and diplomatic sanctions against Russia.
And I think he marched into Crimea because he didn't believe that the United States and Europe would actually take a chunk of flesh out of his economy.
And if the European Union joins in on sanctions, it could mean major pressure on Putin to withdraw his forces back into Russia.
If on Monday we announce with the European Union a set of crippling sanctions coming after not only individuals but Russian business entities, I think that sends a strong message to Putin.
And U.S. officials insist Russia will not overtake Ukraine without a fight, one they say could turn into a long and bloody fight.
The fear, of course, is that Putin will now send troops further into Ukraine, which could prompt a civil war. Russians are doing nothing to calm the situation, with one of its most prominent news anchors saying overnight that Russia remains the only country in the world capable of turning the U.S. into radioactive dust.
Yeah, that was
not
pretty
exactly helpful, George.
And I'll say that was pretty shocking, Martha. And when you see rhetoric like that and you see the moves that Putin has made so far, the real question will be, can these sanctions really make a difference? Can they deter him?
Well, the sanctions would target Russian and Ukrainian officials who were part of the move into Crimea, and the sanctions would escalate if Putin makes even more provocative moves. But it is quite obvious this morning, George, that these threats seem meaningless to Putin so far.
Okay, Martha Raddatz, thanks very much.